Once upon a long time ago, at least 25-30 years or so, there lived a sad lady in a grand old house. There was no husband, for he was a louse. In the beautiful garden grew a pear tree, so big and tall that the neighbours could see, and the daughters would climb it and play in its leaves, telling stories of highwaymen and other such thieves. The tree was their friend, a place for their games, where all their imaginings would burst into flames. The girls were dark and doubtful, 1, 2, and 3, like their mother before them who hated that tree. The fourth one was fair, just like her dad, which upset the mother and made her sad. The fair one would climb and hang off at the limbs. The others would watch while singing their hymns. The tree seemed to love her. She had true grit. But this is no happy story, as you'll see in a bit. The girls would be pirates, and the tree a big ship, floating out on the high seas on a most excellent trip. It was a castle, and they were all queen, but the fair one was the bossiest and sometimes a bit mean. And all of the time, Mother watched her young spawn. Now, pay attention to this bit. Don't wander, don't yawn. One day a storm came when the girls were in bed, and everything living was suddenly dead. The thunder did boom and the lightning did crash, and all the leaves fell off and turned into ash. The sun the next morning was sunshiny and bright. The girls hadn't noticed the terrible fright. The fair one climbed without much delay. If you're squeamish at all, I'd say best look away. She reached the high branch, happy to be back, but suddenly there came an almighty crack. The tree split and bits of it fell to the ground. Everything went silent, there wasn't a sound. Then the others screamed out for their mater, and this is where you'll begin to hate her. The lady watched as the fair one hung on. Mother looked like her sadness was suddenly gone. The others were frightened and all ran away. The mother kept on watching, happy to stay. Then another terrifying crack! Simply put, the child hit the sack. Before she did, she fell through the air, floated a minute, her face in despair. Her noggin split open, much like an egg. Her ribs were all shattered, as was her leg. All the butterflies and bees flew out of her head. Her face was ashen. Yep, she was dead. The lady did not cry, nor did the girls. This was the end of their magical worlds. The garden was locked up and no one returned, and that's the end of it as far as you're concerned. Oh wait, one more thing. About the lady. She went off and bought a brand new baby. She was much like the older one, all full of light, but this time the mother would get it right. But replacing a person is bad, as you know, and everything went wrong as she started to grow. Nobody liked her, not even you, and that is the story of our lass, the cuckoo.